Hey everybody, happy Saturday to you. Gonna be knocking out Spider-Gwen, her request a few weeks ago. Um, gonna be going off and knocking this one out really quick so that we can get some more of the colored finished cards from the other sets posted. And give me just a second here. Gonna go and share this on my page so that if you're not following there, everybody can see it because everyone's going to be asking about it. Where is it on the page? I don't see it. I don't see it. So just want to post that up there. There we go. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. If this one looks a little rough, it's because I've never drawn this character before, and I mean ever in her entire existence. Um, I've never been a follower of the character. Not that I don't like it; it's just I don't. The character just doesn't resonate with me. And like I said, I don't want anybody to think that I'm gonna, rip on their character or whatever. Um, I'm a fan of all things Spider-Man, and I try to follow everything, but this one for some reason just didn't click with me. I don't know. I think it's the Disney Marvel Now feel that's really really harsh um, in the Spider-Verse right now. So it's complex, and there's so many titles that you have to follow. But like I said, not that I'm going to be nagging about it or anything like that. It's just um, this is the first time for this character for me, and I mean, like I said, ever. So if you happen to be a fan of this character and this title, go for it. That's uh, definitely something you can do with no problem from me. Now like I said, I'm drawing her per request. She was added to the list a couple weeks ago, and that's why I'm here to stretch my artistic reach, as it were, to get new stuff to draw. So as this exists, this is proof right here that you guys can get on there on the list and get your stuff out there and get card requests that you like. So, be interactive. Say something. At least hi. It works. Um, Yesterday, a review of yesterday, if you guys missed it, um, just for anybody that wasn't able to catch on or whatever, um, I posted Thursday afternoon. I posted in the Solomon Grundy video. I was going to be doing something different on Fridays, and that different activity was the fact that I'm going to be posting um, for you guys an opportunity to get a large sketch. Okay. Now I don't know if Jason's on right now. Um, I don't know if Jason's hanging out with us or not. I know he's around. He was the winner of the Friday live cast yesterday for the Friday card character super sketch. So what I did was I posted it on Bristol board, and I have the layout, which I'm not going to show until I do the live for it, but I'm going to draw it, and I'm not putting it on an 8.5 by 11 like we originally discussed. I decided to upgrade it a little bit because it was such a special thing, and everybody that came out and participated, I appreciate that so much. And as a big thank you, I'm going to increase this just a little bit because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in an 11 by 17. It is an 11 by 17 Bristol. It is a blank, but it is still a Bristol stock, so that I don't want to be sending out those very expensive Bristol boards. I draw from blanks a lot, but I happen to use high-end commissioned pieces with signature boards now, and I just don't want to do those Just don't want to send that material out because those things are custom and pain in the butt. Um, they tend to disappear in the mail, and I don't want that to happen to the piece for you guys. So I transport most of that by private courier around to other people in the team so that I don't lose my artwork. Um, but since this is publicly broadcast, I am going to use a Bristol board. It is a blank, which I do a lot of artwork on. I draw my pages on those. And like I said, I tend to do my commissions on the signature stuff. So, because I found it's a lot more economical. And if you're a comic book artist and you're looking for a way to get comics material without having to go through Blue Line or Bristol or anything like that, do what I do. I learned this trick back when I was in magazine publishing and in the printing industry. I tell you, I've been around for a long time, and what I like to do is go to a local paper shop and support local businesses. So I buy it wholesale, believe it or not. You can buy Bristol board pre-cut and buy it by the case for about what you would pay maybe for 3 packs of what you pay for 100 pages. Basically, if you buy it by the 100 through Blue Line, if you go through those guys, or about 3 packs of Bristol, 3 books worth of Bristol, about $60. You can get a box of 5,000 pages. So blanks, and they are the exact same thing that Bristol uses and that Blue Line uses for their printing. So it's the same stock, and if you're lucky enough, it's the same company. You can message me about the details if you want to know brands to get and what pound and whatever else is going on with the details of that. But yeah, just because it's a blank doesn't mean that it's not quality, because they are Bristol boards. Okay, they are Bristol brand stock. So they're just blank. But I prefer the blanks because then I can measure in my own panels. I don't have to worry about bleeds. I don't have to worry about any of that mess going on. And like I said, it's just a better quality product for me to use. Because I go through so many pages, I just don't want to buy pack of pages. And that's a trick I picked up, like I said, a while back. Probably, I don't know. I've been doing it for the last maybe 10 years, 15 years. I go over and I have a standing order. I go over and pick up my cases about once every 2 months and run amok with the pages that I have. So, but you got to consider too your volume, because if that's not efficient for you, don't do it. But for me, it is, because of the fact that I spend my month doing 2-3 titles a month. So that's a big difference. And I don't draw digital. I still draw by hand. So just a little snip tick there. Right there on these shoulders. Popping in the snippets. All right. Yeah, that's just a quick one. Nice little tip there for you, and I hope it helps. It's definitely economical if you're doing a lot of material. For me, it's definitely a plus, because, like I said, I do so much work. But I know I get asked all the time. It's like, where are all these comics you talk about doing? That's because they're not out yet. I have to stockpile them, and I'm doing them all by myself. Multiple titles. You guys are going to get to see them soon. Don't worry. I've got a couple of books coming out through independent publishers that I've worked with pretty quick, too. A lot of freelance stuff coming out this year. But it doesn't come out until after the holiday season. It gets in there about November, December, when you'll start seeing those books come out. And it's just like, why did it take so long? But it is what it is. So better than not to have work at all. And like I said, I freelance on specific projects that I like, not necessarily that I have to have. I don't make my money that way. So that's a bonus. But yep, it's not a requirement. It's for the love of the craft. Now, the reason I did that right there is because, as you can see, this folds back. I don't know if you, well, I hope you can see it. As this folds back right here, and you see the outside edge of this hood, that's because her head's turned to the side. So that's tucked up behind that lip right there, which I need to run that right across the top so you guys can see that fold. There we go. I'm going to shadow that in just a little bit so it tucks her face. But I don't want to do too much and make it crazy, because then you get into gradations and all that mess, and I just don't want to do that. I want to leave it a nice pretty white so that I can go in and do the spray. I'll probably do maybe some stippling for the pink to make the spray paint eyes. I don't know if I'll do it with a brush digitally or not. Normally I hand color these, so I don't have to worry about that, and I'll stipple it on there. But I might pull out the old airbrush and go at it. I don't know. We will see how that goes. For the moment, we will just spin this around and drive you guys crazy trying to watch it and get it drawn up. So, tell me what you guys are doing this weekend. Talk to me. You're hanging out with me, and you're on. Let me know what's going on. Hey, Matt, Kathleen. Good to see everybody coming out on a Saturday. Mostly my Sundays are horrible because nobody's online, and I totally respect that. You got to do the family thing, you know. It's just like, well, you know, you got to do the family thing, dude. What are you doing, man? So, yeah, it happens. I like doing that when I can. But there is a huge respect for the business that I'm building too, so that helps a lot, because I'm going to be shaking some cages. Firestorm's coming up, getting big, getting some branding, getting some name for itself, and building out. And I'm looking forward to sharing a lot more of that content with you guys. But like I said, doing, you know, this all by hand, a little difficult from time to time. Not that I'm nagging, I love what I do. But it is what it is. Okay. Now I know a lot of people like to draw the breast line to come up like where this is the top of the breast and this is the top. But don't do that, because these actually run up underneath the pec muscles up into here. I put them on the top there to where they curve, to where the costume curves out right at the top, because I like to do that, because it gives it a little more edge and dynamic pull on the character to make her pop up. But in this particular one, it's folding and wrapping around because of this angle. But normally that would be up on her chest. She's just crunched down because she's got her torso twisted. So I don't want people to think it looks funny because those don't go there. It looks like some kind of cat looking at you down here. Yeah, when I was showing it around before I went live, some people were asking about that. Some people were asking about it. It's like, wow, they're so high. Well, that's because of the angle you're looking at. It's not that I'm shoving them up in her face or anything strange like that. Not to mention the fact that she's very petite. She's very short. She's a tiny little form. And like I said, there's her hip, and there's her breast, and there's her shoulder, and there's her collar, and there's her chin. I mean, she's just very compact. So you have to move things around a little bit to make them fit the proportions of the character. But that's what we have to do as artists. So do what you must do. So many people will ask me when I do Venom or other characters like this one that have black costumes. They say, "Why do you always do that with the light? Why do you always do that with the lighting and this, that, and the other?" And that's so I can get the proper proportions on things. I want it to scale out properly. Um, if you're ever drawing a character like this that's got a bunch of shading and stuff, line this stuff out. People aren't going to scold you for it, you know? I have never once been scolded by an editor for lining this stuff out and then shading and giving the what I call the negative light, which is a light from here, a light from here, and then a dim light from another angle. And it's always a trifecta. And I've never once had an editor chew me out for that. I've had plenty of editors chew me out for not detailing enough shadow, but never had one come across and say, "Don't do that," with the shadowing and what I call, like I said, the negative lighting, where you have that false dim light like they do in animation, like I talk about all the time, because it's just one of those things, you know. You got to make it pop up, and without that, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. I'm going to switch over to my 9 here so that I can shade this in, because I want this to work for expediency here. Because this weekend, I have to draw out that Black Panther for my winner, for James Kimball, who won yesterday. And like I said, I'm going to bump it up. He wants Black Panther in a throne, which he left that kind of open for me. And because we're friends, I almost messed with him a little bit. But I decided, of course, not to respect the request and whatnot. But I just like messing with people. And I was going to tease him and give him a layout with him on a throne, as it were. Not to go too into that. You guys can see where that would have went. It would have been a restroom joke, so he would have found it amusing because he's that type of guy. But yeah, he'd been like, "Draw my drawing, you jerk." But yeah, gotta have some fun. Gotta have some fun. But when you win these, if you win these in the future, if you guys keep participating and we keep doing the Friday thing, I'm going to tell you, be specific, because the pose you get is the pose you keep. So just be forewarned. And if you leave it open to my discretion, I may mess with you. So you may get a layout and get a message with that in it, and it's like, "Hey man, what'd you do to it? That's not what I meant. Fix it." I may pull out some paper and just draw up something, funky to mess with you. I'll do it. So anyway, yeah, I thank you guys for all coming out. I got over 200 views on that one, that live yesterday, but nobody clicked on the button, man. I don't understand why anybody didn't click on the button. There were so many people that just didn't want it. Did you guys just not like the character, or did you not understand? Did I not make the directions clear enough? Did I not give you enough time to come on? What was the deal there? Because I'm very curious about that, because I want to be crystal clear in the way that I present these. And if I didn't give you guys enough time to get live and enough with the instructions, let me know. Oh, I missed a little part down here. Because, yeah, if I didn't give you enough time, let me know. Because there are so many people that private messaged me, oh man, I didn't get that, or I didn't understand that, or I didn't know that, and you know, I want to get in on the Friday thing, and so many people just didn't. But like I said, maybe they just didn't know. That's what I'm thinking. And we'll see about that next week. I'll give you guys time ahead to let you know now. If you're watching today, I'll give you a heads up towards the end of this one so that you'll know what's coming up next week, and you can help me let people know that and get it out there and be here when I do this. So you might be my next winner. But I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep coming at you. I'm going to keep bothering you every single day. When you guys tell me you don't want to see it anymore, that's when I'll move into something else. But thank you for all the support, though, seriously, because I know we're screwing around here. But the thing is, I've gotten asked many times to do Patreon or something like that so that you guys can see the page work that I'm doing. And I'm thinking about doing, like I said, I've mentioned that a couple of times now, and I think I'm actually going to pull the trigger this week. And whenever I get Lone Rider ready to start making moves forward, I think I'm going to come out and let you guys get some behind-the-scenes stuff and check on that and see what you think. So let me give like a free trial or something, or a $1 trial or something like that, just to see how you guys react. And if you like the artwork or not, and see if it's worth it, and poll some people. So if that's what you like, I know those are popular these days, but like I said, I'm not trying to make a lot of money off of you guys watching this stuff, because I want you to be there to buy my books and read my books and support my books. I don't want you to come in just for me to try to sell you something. That's not what I'm here for, other than the books themselves. But I do have some stuff coming up that people might like to see, maybe. I hope. Like I said, my page works solid. People ask me about it all the time, and I thought maybe I would share it with you guys. Because I am kind of a hermit when it comes to my artwork. I'm very secretive with my artwork. And I'm not afraid of anybody stealing it or anything like that. I don't care, because they're going to get it if they're going to get it. What I'm looking at is the fact that what comes about with the comic books, I want them to be like old school comics, you know, where you had to actually buy the issue to figure out what was going on, instead of just getting it handed to you by previews. Because that was one of the things that always ticked me off about that, is there was no surprise to comics anymore. And I think that's where they've lost part of their luster and part of their nostalgia and part of their excitement, is that you get it. So there's so many books out there, they want to publish every little detail about everything and don't tell you anything. And there's not any surprise left to it. So I think that that's going to be something that Firestorm can provide, is I want to drive comics that excite people and entertain people without all that garbage of being in the way. So, because Diamond is going to have to change up now that, especially now that Marvel's, DC's leaning digital and more digital, and changing up their pattern, and that Marvel's closing down their line apparently, if that sticks, which I think it's a marketing ploy to drive stuff up. I don't think it's going to stick, but we'll see. I just think comics are going to have to change, but I want Firestorm to be something that you guys can support and get behind, and know that when you buy it, you're going to get a good, entertaining comic book. So, Now, like I said before, I'm trying to detail some of this stuff out just a little more and trying to add a little bit more of a pop to it without over rendering, because I know I can get into that very easily because I'm one of those type of people. Turn this so I can get my hand out of the way. I'm one of those type of people who get carried away with that kind of stuff and just put it everywhere. And before you know it, then it looks like Ron Lim instead of, my style. And not to knock Ron, because Ron has got some great stuff, but I'm not that gritty in my style, and I don't want that kind of look going on. I just don't. Yeah, I think I want to do that right there. I just want it to maintain looking like a mask and not go into looking like a white seal or something. Put a little bit of a mark there for a highlight. I'll leave that open for coloring. And we've got some ribbing through here. That'll be easy enough. Now you guys are going to have to give me some characters to draw too, because I've got a short list left, but I'm going to be updating soon. And I want to make sure that your favorite characters get seen, so be sure and check that out. Let me know. But I've finally got caught up on a bunch of those cards and stuff that I have previously, and I've got to get those out too. There's a couple of commissions in there and things like that I've got to get out. I've been running behind on those because of the fact that I've been doing so much with the comic stuff. But with that said, I want to make sure that you guys get represented as well. I keep getting asked all the time, practically daily, if not more so, maybe a few times a day with the Ninja Turtles things. Everybody wants to see how the Ninja Turtles came out, and I've got to get it in gear and get those out to you. Everyone wants to see how that set came out. And I love you guys asking. It's awesome. But I got to start showing up and popping it out there. Now, I think what I'm going to do is right here. I don't want to give her an Adam's apple by any means. But what I want to do is give it a little bit of a pop that way, because that's deeper back and it's shadowed. I think that works. I really, really, really like that. Okay, now I'm going to put in this little kind of a thing here. Kind of a ripple. And slid down the table. I'm going to put in a little bit of marking on the bottom there. Now I think we've got this, and just so I don't mess it up with the rest of it, I'm going to leave it open for the coloring, because I'll have to erase all this mess out of here, all the scribbles. I think that's going to be it, and we're going to call that Gwen. Spider-Gwen is completed. Now, what I'm going to be doing, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Friday of this coming week, for this coming Friday, not next Friday, but this coming Friday, it is going to be Elektra. that is going to be next week's card drawing. If you guys want to participate in that, make an event note. Um, Contact me. Let you have a note to know what's going on. Whatever you want to do, follow me, like it, whatever. That way you know what's going on. Because I'll be posting it on the page before it goes live. But Elektra will be the next Friday character for Friday card character drawings and the giveaway. Tomorrow, I have Iron Fist. I'm going to go with the classic Iron Fist. It's not the Netflix version, which I'm really, really digging. I'm about to start watching the Defenders series, which I haven't gotten to start yet until a few minutes after this card. But I'm going to watch a couple episodes over my dinner break, and then I'm going to go back into finishing some artwork and drawing that custom piece for James and a couple of pages and whatnot. But yeah, definitely check it out. I will be drawing Iron Fist tomorrow, and I will be drawing Elektra next Friday for the giveaway. So if you want to get a custom 11 by 17, not 8.5 by 11, but 11 by 17 piece, I would highly suggest that you show up next week and check that out. So thanks for hanging with me. And like I said, I appreciate this. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out, and especially giving me time on your weekend. And we'll go from there. So until tomorrow, take it easy.